Hello, friends. Welcome to Akul Mac Live. And we know the Ukraine crisis is brewing. And today we want to analyze what are the end points of this crisis, what strategy that the invading Russia is working on. Let us discuss about it. Russia has invaded Ukraine, and there is a lot of coverage. There is a lot of media coverage. Uh, Propaganda of all kinds are being promoted. It looks that the media itself is trying to brainwash people of the world today in believing some agenda or the other. However, the war is brewing, people are dying, the cities are getting destroyed. So, we are not going to discuss today what is going on, who's responsible. That is for the other day. Today, I want to emphasize on the point that whenever there is an activity which is planned, whoever plans it, they also plan the strategic advantages in that activity. And when I say that the Russia has invaded Ukraine, it is not a day's affair that they just woke up and on 24th of February they decided to invade Ukraine. This invasion is in making for several years, maybe over a decade. The invasion would have been planned for many days, planning in terms of supply lines, in terms of objectivity, in terms of what they will achieve by invading, what they will not achieve by the invasion, etc., etc. This is not something which is a knee-jerk reaction of Russia. I think this was in making, and they would have decided different outcomes of this battle at the end of it. And today we want to discuss the three top scenarios that this war can end into one by one. We already know that the Russia has invaded Ukraine from all sides. In fact, four sides, three on land and one from the Black Sea. So four sides they are bombarding and occupying all the cities. In fact, they are not trying to occupy right now, but they have surrounded all the 15 major cities in Ukraine. So the first option, first outcome of the war could be complete annihilation of Ukraine as a sovereign country, and that could result in a complete occupation of Russia into Ukraine, and then Ukraine can be assimilated between the Russian as a country, and that means the country of Ukraine will not exist after the end of the war. However, I believe this is not the agenda that the Russians have invaded Ukraine, and this is the least possible outcome of this war, because I don't think you can annihilate a sovereign country, and that is not the objective. Objective is to ensure security of Russia, and since Ukraine was warming up to NATO, and that is how the war started, and war can be ended also if Ukraine gives an undertaking that they will not join NATO. So I don't think that is the probable outcome, and this is the least favorable option that this war can end into. As we already know that before 2014, there was a democratically elected government, which was sort of a private coup was conducted to remove that government. Then President, whose photo you see here, actually left the country and was living in Russia since 2014. And he was very favorable. He was running a very favorable government for Russia, and it was pro-Russian government. So the second option for Russia is to invade, remove the current government, and put a proxy government using this gentleman as the president of the new government, which will then be very pro-Russian. So that is the second option, very favorable, but not the most favorable, to run a proxy government, because then this is not a permanent solution. The proxy governments usually tend to fail and don't last for very long time. So this is not the favorable solution, even though they would like to have that as one of the options. So as an objective of the war, the Russian government would like to have option number two as an outcome would be to set up a proxy government. The third and the most favorable option from my point of view emerges to divide the country divide Ukraine into east and west for the time being. And this is the pattern of their invasion also. I mean, they have entered from the east, and they are now moving towards the west, and they're trying to put pressure. Even though, even today, as we have come to know through the media, that the Russian forces have surrounded all the cities. They have destroyed all the air force. They have actually destroyed the entire air defense system of Ukraine. The Ukraine propaganda is that now people are gearing up, taking up the arms to fight with this very, very advanced warfare, which is futile. It is just a propaganda. Uh, for a fact, we know that the Kalashnikovs cannot win the war because all the Russians have to do is press a button and fire a rocket. So this is not going to happen. So therefore, as a long-term solution, I believe the country would be divided into east and west. The west side can go and join the Western Bloc of NATO or EU or whatever they want to do, and the east side will then will be pro-Russian and will join the Russian Federation. So this is the third option. So between option 2 and option 3, the objective could emerge after the rounds of negotiation between Russia and Ukraine. And what we heard today is that the president of the Ukraine government has decided to have a word with President Putin, and something may come out of this. So we don't know, but I think the Russian army objective are of three kinds, which I've explained today. One is to create outright occupation of Ukraine, dissolve the country and include that land into Russian Federation. Number two is set up a proxy government. Number three is divide the country into east and west, and let people have referendum which side they want to go, and based on that the east can join a Russian Federation and the west can join NATO. So, friends, what do you feel is the probable outcome of this war? Because any invasion is not planned without thinking, without coming out with an objectivity, without coming out with the end result that the invasion is expected to achieve. What do you think are the expected results out of this invasion? Do write in your comments. Do let me know your opinions, and based on your opinion, I will actually play your messages in my next edition. For today, I like to say goodbye, only to catch you again in the next one.